Let's talk about it. I'm Bryce, here with the most recent evictee of Big Brother 19 and the newest member of the jury, Abby. So,
hello.
Abby.
Oh man.
Let's talk about it, right? What got you in this seat right here in this room at 9:25 p.m. On Saturday, March 19th, 2022?
You know, I think I had a good first half, and then the pieces just didn't fit the way I thought they were gonna.
What do you mean by that?
I tried to make sure that I had bases covered along the way, but I think my name on people's priority list was not where I needed them to be to keep myself. But mainly Rita. Love you, Rita, but...
So explain that. What happened with Rita?
Love her, but... Oh, that was not the move, sis. Taking off Meredith was not a good move. Maybe for her game, it'll work out fine. I could be wrong.
Just for your game.
Just for my game?
Specifically, that was not a good move. Is that what you're saying?
That was not a good move.
What?
I think Rita had a certain plan in mind. Take off Meredith. And I don't know if they had communicated something, But Rita, I don't know if Meredith said something and Rita fell for it. I think it was Rita's idea to use, on Meredith. And so that if Meredith won, Meredith would, join the remaining girls, myself, Rita, Tiffany.
And were you willing to work with that plan?
No! I didn't know until the veto was used.
Right.
I would have thought that not Tiffany, Rita was going to use it on me. So when she didn't, I was like,
Gooped and gagged.
Gooped and gagged. Zooey mama.
Zooey mama.
Damn.
Absolutely.
And then she was talking to Meredith about using the second veto, and I was like, sis, you've hit a wall. I could have told you this was a bad idea. If this was your plan. She wanted 4 because she was safe, and Meredith was already safe. So Meredith won the second veto. If myself or Tiffany had come down, it would have meant Josh would have had to put up a boy, which he's avoided very, very strongly up until this point. But, if anyone was going to do that, I didn't think Meredith was going to be the one, so I just wish she would have, given me a little something on the side that was like, hey, I'm going to take down Meredith, trust me.
Right.
And I would have been like, no, sis.
Just some heads up.
No,
Right.
No, don't do that. I did lose a little respect for Josh. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Explain.
Again, I think it's not as high on a priority list as I had once thought. So I just think what ended up happening was the final 6, as I expected, broke before making it to final 6, as they often do.
It's Big Brother.
It's Big Brother. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. But really, as soon as Josh said I was going on the block, I knew that this was my time. And that damn frisbee competition I'm so bad at, so I knew. And then he was like, replay, we're doing it again. I was like, shit, I'm going home. So, expected.
Okay.
But just caught a vibe when
Not a good vibe.
not a good vibe, no, because I was like, Josh, you dumb. Because had he not done that, I still would have stuck with him.
Right.
And that round really just blew it up wide open.
Right.
If it wasn't already clear. We all had kind of already known that Josh was in a good spot socially. Very similar to Allie. I just thought that would have caught up with him by now.
So do you think there's definitely lines drawn with the final 6?
I don't know, the last few rounds have been messy. It's getting a lot more unpredictable. So I feel like I had that imprint with each player except for probably Meredith. But a little shady about that too, because she was like, yeah, I think it would be after our HOHs where I put her up and then she put me up on hers. Like, we had been chit-chatting, like, always very open, like,
Right.
yeah, I know we haven't been that close, so you're going to go up. And then she won the veto on my HOH, and she told me she wasn't going to use it. And I was like, okay, cool, go for it, sis. I'm fine with that. You won just to flex on us. Do what you will. It makes my life easier, so thanks for the heads up.
Right.
And then when she was HOH, I was like, I know I'm probably going up. That's an easy thing to do. I respect it. I'm not mad about it. And it makes us unlikely allies. I brought up that olive branch. And on her HOH, when I put up and I played the replay, the rewind, I went and told her, I said, hey, don't want to pull the rug out from under me. I'm using the rewind. And then when Rita...
It's just there. It's just there.
Rita was trying to convince Meredith to use the second veto on me. Meredith had said, you know, that was trust built with Rita, but there was none with me and Tiffany. But I should call BS because, bitch, I tried. And I know it's hard in late game to retroactively go back when we haven't been working together, but like, I gave you a lot of it. And when I found out that Josh was putting me and her up, I went and told her. I gave you a lot of information before, like, that I didn't have to, just as a common courtesy, you know, to keep that line open.
So, you know, that's yeah.
But try not to be bitter, you know, because there's usually that thin line.
There is a fine line, I would say, between being salty and bitter. And I think, you know, getting out of any game, it's completely fair to be a little salty.
Yeah.
Concerning circumstances, you know. So if you could rewind the game, you know, you were just evicted, walked out the door. If you could rewind from this point back to change any game move, any conversation, any piece of your game, what would you rewind and redo? I know it's kind of tough late game once there's so much has happened.
There's a lot. I don't know. It would have had to be in one of the recent rounds. Let me look at my notebook.
Okay, go ahead.
Check my notes.
Check your notes.
Check my notes. I don't know, and I feel like I just like fucked myself over because I had to take a Xanax in the middle of the day. And after that, I just really lost grip of where the game went. I just wasn't on the same wavelength in my own mind.
Right.
I think. I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that. Besides like winning a competition that I didn't win, I don't know what I would really do. Like,
So you feel pretty proud of all your game moves that you make?
I mean, I tried to cover my bases.
Right.
And well, I mean, you can only do so much sometimes.
Right.
So I guess it's anybody could literally say this, but like maybe just had one more conversation with someone could have made the difference. Like, especially late game when your final 6 makes it to final 7. What besides talking more, I gave out information like it was guaranteed. Like I tried to be very honest and very like upfront about things. So I don't know, maybe talk to Oscar earlier in the game. Maybe talk to Desh one more time. You know, sprinkled throughout the last rounds. But like, I don't know what more I could have done with Meredith to get her on my side. Like, I tried.
So
I tried that. Like, I was close with Tiffany. I was close with Rita. I don't think that was anything I could have changed. Maybe talk to one of the guys a little bit more. But
at what point do you think was there ever a moment in the game when the final six was solidified and y'all were like, I had a mutual understanding like this is a six, or was it kind of like an implied understanding going into the finals?
like, what round was it solidified?
Right, like if you could pin, was there a point in the game that you think like, okay, this was my six?
It was my only six, or I knew I was in the six.
I would say that it was your six. It was your final six, and you were like, okay, this is who I'm gonna keep working with.
So it was proposed. It was brought as an option around round 4. And I mean, if someone offers you an alliance, you don't say no.
Exactly.
So I was like, okay, let me take this and put it in my pocket. And try to juggle the other things. Because that was the Lucas McKenzie vote. But that's the vote where it was like, hey, these 3 girls will probably be good together, and these 3 guys are interested in working with these 3 girls. Like, y'all want to be a final 6? And I was like, yeah, keep me updated on that. That sounds good.
Right.
Because, like, I think at that point, the round, we had already figured it out and were trying to start thinking long game, even though it still felt so early. And, yeah. So, round 4, and then once... Yeah. I mean, once Allie was gone, she was, like, the only other person, like, another ally.
Right.
So, once she was... pretty much, once it was proposed, and I was like, oh, that's a thing? Good, awesome, cool, we'll do that.
Okay.
And I tried to check in with
Right.
those other 5 as much as I could.
Okay. A fun question I've been liking to asking people is, so say in, you know, like in the movie Click starring Adam Sandler, you had the ability to press mute on one of your fellow house guests. Who would it be?
To press mute? Oh, that's mean.
It's a shady question. I'm wanting to get to the, you know.
They'll probably all pick me. Like, just for the rest of the game? Or just
for
life? Like, what?
No.
What?
I mean, okay, we'll say for a round.
For a round?
Yeah. If you could press mute on somebody, who would you press mute on?
Oh. Some of them are already shady and quiet. They don't need a mute button. I don't know. Nothing against her. She was literally the only one I was aligned to. And I think she was able to talk her way out of a lot of things because she's very smart, and them bitches all know that. So they're walking.
I mean, she was voted the smartest contestant in the competition.
So I don't know, maybe her, so that she couldn't talk her way out of stuff.
Okay, that's a solid answer.
Send me back in, coach.
If I had that power. So you heard it here. I'm Bryce, here with Abby, the most recent evictee from the Big Brother 19 house and the newest member of the jury. And it's about time.
Click, bitch!